Greetings, greetings, greetings. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Seti Saturday. Seti Saturday, June the 1st. Already June. Can you believe it? Already June 2024. I don't know about you, but it seems to me that time is really super flying now. Like it's moving along at supersonic pace. Literally, took note that a whole week had passed by, and it didn't seem like it had been a week yet, and yet it had. When looking at a particular circumstances, we welcome you today to Seti Saturday. Today, we're just going to really, have sort of a fireside chat. A lot is going on. I want to really encourage you to listen and to learn, to follow us. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and pump this information out to other people. Sooner or later, people are going to understand what's really going on in this world that we live in. There's so much. And the elite, they really don't know what to do. There are a number of problems in the systems that we live in, the economic system in particular. Debt, world debt is at an all-time high. People don't really know what to do about it. The elite, the governments, and they're scrambling because obviously when people begin to understand the depth of seriousness, the depth of great weight, the depth of difficulty that human populations are in, because obviously somebody or some entities or some people have really been dragging us down a bad way and a bad road. When people wake up and begin to understand how severe this is, there's going to be revolution in the streets everywhere. And so we know, because they're telling us, in fact, that governments are preparing. They're attempting to segue, sideline, create diversion, or what have you, whatever they can do to avoid the potentiality of revolution in the streets. I'm seeing this more and more because we're talking to people a lot in a number of industries, banking and real estate, construction, etc. And certainly not everybody is impacted in the exact same way or at the exact same time. But I'm seeing trends myself because I get to speak to a wide-ranging swath of individuals, business people, etc. And let me say that Seti Inc., we're here to help companies, corporations, individuals to overcome the challenges that this world's circumstances is putting us in. This is a little unique. There's been upheavals, obviously, that we can historically look at. The Great Depression, world wars, the collapse of the economy in 2008, and on and on. And so it's not like this is the first time something like this has happened exactly, but it's very unique in the sense that, number one, it is definitely having global implications because the world is so interconnected today. And number two, we can kind of see it live, right? Because of the advent of social media and these kinds of mechanisms, we can kind of be in touch with people all over the planet at the same time. And so we can kind of monitor and actually see in real time to some degree what's going on. Now, what's going on, quite frankly, is a collapse of the financial system. It's been collapsing for a number of years now, but its pace is kind of picking up. And as we've been talking about, that's why we're seeing the advent of what central banks are doing, major corporations are doing in terms of them trying to utilize technology to the highest degree possible to save themselves and to control us, to control people. Um, and so, really, what I want to do today in brief is just keep saying to you, keep saying to the general populace, I want to keep saying it over and over and over and over again, and keep getting you to question yourself, ask yourself the question, why should you be in decentralized finance? Um, Paper money is dead. Fiat currency is dead. There's currency wars going on. The fall of the dollar is not a joke. You can just check the dollar index and see the fall. The dollar has been falling for a number of years. It continues to fall, and it will continue to fall. This may or may not happen in the twinkling of an eye, as they say, but we see it going on. And we have to ask ourselves, how do we begin to protect ourselves? How do we begin to protect our families? What are we going to do? What would you do if you woke up tomorrow morning and the dollar had crashed and we were in massive hyperinflation in the US and you went to the market and a loaf of bread cost you $10? Would you panic? What would you do? There have been many nation states and people in those nation states that have gone through this kind of tribulation. Most Western powers, most Western countries, and its populations are not necessarily used to this kind of thing because it hasn't visited Western nations since the early 1900s when such things as the Great Depression took place. We haven't seen it. We haven't felt that kind of an impact. We've felt, we have been feeling some of it, some indication, right? Even now, when you think about it, and oftentimes, remember, the system is made to keep us so busy that we don't have a chance to think or reflect about what's really going on, let alone plan. So sometimes you don't even think about it. You just kind of go, you have these kind of moments where it's like, wow, what just happened, right? So you kind of can remember when a loaf of bread was $2 or $3.99, and now it's $5, $6, $6.99. And you kind of just look at that and go, wow, when did that happen? How did that happen? I can't, wow, what's going on? Right. So this is what we're seeing. This is what's taking place. And a solution, not necessarily the only solution, but decentralized finance is absolutely a solution because it is not controlled by these same forces in power, although they are doing everything possible to garner some control, to take it over if they can. Um, may take them years upon years, decades for that to manifest. And by then, the people will have developed some other mechanism. The ancestors, the Most High, will have come in to give in direction for us to do something else to save ourselves, I believe. But we should, I'm strongly suggesting that you begin to study, do your own research, or contact us, get a free consultation. But decentralized finance is an answer. You don't want to wake up one morning and be wiped out simply because something well beyond your control, well beyond my control, something that's going on the global stage between world powers just happened to wipe you out. We must begin to think ahead. We must begin to plan. This is June 1st. Number one, let's begin to plan. 6 months into 2024, we're looking for the bull run to begin to really get heated up. April 20th, Bitcoin halving manifestation. You see how it seems to me almost like I was just talking about this a week or two ago. And literally, it was April 20th that the Bitcoin halving happened, and already it's June 1st. But it feels like it was just a few days ago. I want to show us now a chart. Um, see if I can get this in here because I want us to begin to get a sense of some movements. And I wish I had taken a screenshot of when I was looking at this a few days ago. But unfortunately, I did not. But I'm going to want to illustrate this. I want to illustrate this so that we can begin to get a sense of it. Um, Talking recently with a client of ours who's involved, who's in the real estate industry, and this particular client, one of the things that we saw and shared with them, and they begin to see it for themselves, was that, and they're in residential real estate, was that the real estate market was vastly slowing. And there have been calls for this in the news media, conversation about this, uh, focused mainly on commercial real estate slowing down significantly, and even the way that the economic situation is impacting smaller banks who are holding large real estate portfolios, and how this, in fact, may end up causing a bank crash. And so we see the trickling down, if you will, of the of the symptoms of economic depression, economic fallout in the real estate industry. And I'm hearing it firsthand from people who've been in it for years, and how they're now being impacted. Their business is slowing. Real estate is slowing in certain parts of the country. And again, everything doesn't affect everybody at the same time or in the same way. So you may be living in a state possibly where residential real estate is up, but there are many places that it's not up. And these trends and cycles tend to follow, place by place by place. But this particular individual contacted us because they're concerned about their business, and they're feeling the pinch. But this is exactly why you should be investing in decentralized finance. We have to have ways and means and be in places where we can potentially get those gains, where we can potentially get earnings and growth, where we can be safeguarded against harsh and volatile economic situations. This is one of those places. It offers a number of avenues with various platforms, projects, protocols, systems, mechanics, and mechanisms that give us the possibilities of winning. Now, again, nothing is foolproof. The economic system itself isn't foolproof. If it was, we wouldn't be having conversations about economic collapse, right? So nothing financial is foolproof, but we're talking about ways to potentially find some kind of safe haven, some kind of place that we can be in if the circumstances occur where there's some massive fallout, wherever we happen to live, whatever country we happen to be in, um, or globally, that we might have some place of safe haven. I'm suggesting that decentralized finance offers such a safe haven for us. Now, this is a chart reflecting a number of various cryptocurrencies. These in particular are what some would call blue chip cryptocurrencies, some of the top rated cryptocurrencies out there. Now, just a few days ago, most of this chart was all red. Pretty much, in fact, everything was pretty much red just a couple of days ago, except Ethereum. And we know that Ethereum skyrocketed. Well, maybe I shouldn't say skyrocketed. Man, it blew up significantly in the realm of roughly 20%, a 20% increase over the last week and a half or so, where it jumped up from $3,100 all the way up to 30. Really, it's gone up to $3,900. It initially went up to around 3,700. It's a bit higher than it was initially. Then it moved up to 3,900. Is retraced now. It went back to, I think, as low as just maybe just above 36, low 37s, and now it's in the high 37s today. But a few days ago, it was the only thing on this chart showing green. Everything else was red. And people are wondering what's going on. I had conversation with one person who said crypto is losing money. Well, yes and no. Depends on what you're doing. Depends on your perspective of things and how you're looking at things and what your analyst is telling you to do. But the point I'm really making here is we see now that there's more green. Still a lot of red. Look at all the red, right? I'm going just down the chart a little bit here, right? But in these top ones, let's say the top 10, give or take, pretty much all of these were red just a few days ago. Now, there is a saying, an adage that I love, and that adage is in the seeds, in the midst of adversity are the seeds of opportunity. In the midst of adversity are the seeds of opportunity. Now, when we see charts going all red, right? Sometimes in someone or some people that invokes fear, and people go into rampant selling, sell, 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 sell. Now, this happens in all markets, by the way. Anytime, whether it's the stock market, or options, or crypto, what have you, DeFi, when people start seeing red and so forth, sometimes people panic and they begin to sell off. But for other people, that sell off is an opportunity because it enables us to maybe get into something that we couldn't get in before and to get in at a great price. And what that does then is because there are always going to be cycles, things, this is a cyclical realities, you know. Finance is cyclical. Markets are cyclical. They go up and down. And so for someone who is paying attention, who's studying, who just doesn't wait till that last moment, right? See, and this is the other important thing I want to really say here today is that we are inviting you in today for tomorrow. You do not want to wait till the last moment when your business is starting to be in pain, when you God forbid you lose your job, when you get that pink notice, when the factories are closing down, when AI begins to replace human beings. Yeah, this is real. This is the world we live in. AI. I know some of you love AI. Will you love it when it replaces you on your job? Because the elite big businesses, they're hurting too. They're in debt. Many of them are in gross debt. They're looking at ways to be able to control that debt. And one of those ways is to replace, replace human beings with AI. What would you do if you got the notice that AI had replaced you on your job? Are you ready for such an event? Do you have a backup plan? Do you have money somewhere else that is growing for you right now, today, so that God forbid, 6 months, a year from now, when you need something, when you need that safe haven, when you wished you would have listened, we don't want you to be in that predicament. And so we hope that this message goes out today. We hope that somebody hears us today. We hope that someone takes advantage of the information we're sharing, that you share, like, and subscribe, that you pump this information out to other people, because our goal has not changed. Our goal here at Seti Inc. is to make as many people, as many of the masses, as wealthy as possible. And if not wealthy, it's just good, right? If we could just be good, and when things blow up, I'm good. I'm all right. I got I got something here. I've done something in the present to protect myself, to protect my family, just in case any of these things that are being talked about largely and widely across all various spectrums by economists, by government officials, etc. They're already telling us what's coming down the road. Be wise, family. Let us all be wise, begin to listen, begin to protect ourselves. Let us be wise, right? And this chart is a reflection. The chart is a reflection, and it's starting to turn green again. It's going to turn green pretty soon. At some point, the exact opposite of a week and a half ago, when most of this was red, most of this will be green. And if we had planned, if we were watching, and if we had taken note, if you were with Seti Inc., then you may have been in a position to gain, to win, to get something that was beneficial for you and your family. It is all about being in position. You know this old adage, the right place at the right time. That's what we hope to do. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're focusing in on, positioning ourselves, our members, our clients to be in the right place at the right time. Family, I hope that this meant something to someone today. I hope that you like, share, and subscribe. I hope to hear from you for that free consultation. Customer service at TySetiInc.com. Customer service at TySetiInc.com. We want to make a difference for you and your family. We want you to be that person in your family that did the right thing so that you might be the anchor that pulls your family, that is able to be locked in and locked down. So when the storms come, when the tsunamis hit us economically, that you were the one that listened and did the right thing. Thank you so much, friends and families. Peace and power, peace and blessings to you. May you have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you soon.